let the record show that the Board of Education of the Dayton City School District has just completed an executive session during which it considered the appointment, employment, dismissal of a public employee, as well as conferred with an attorney regarding imminent or pending court action. May I have a second to return to our business meeting?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Do we have any questions? Seeing none, Madam Treasurer, may we have a vote?
President Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Wick,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Dr. Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Ms. Reinhardt.
Yes.
7 yeses.
I move that the items that I pulled off in both the superintendent's recommendation and the business manager's recommendation, and including the Belmont principal, we adopt those recommendations.
I'll second.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Madam Treasurer, if you got that, we'd like to consolidate items from both HR agendas as well as
Okay.
include Kamani Smith on there.
Okay, so number 7, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 12, and number 4? Okay.
All right, any questions on the motion? Seeing none, may we have a vote?
President Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Wick,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Dr. Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Ms. Reinhardt.
Yes.
7 yeses.
Entertain a motion to
Oh, I
adjourn.
like to do my closing comments.
Oh, we do have that. Go ahead, Dr. Goodwin.
Well, before she does her closing comments, can I? Well, I'll wait till afterwards.
You can go ahead. Go ahead.
It's just a request for our July meetings, we meet across the street instead of here.
Fine. Okay.
For next month?
Yeah, for next month.
Okay.
I mean, we could always go out to the schools again on tour.
Put that in, planner. Dr. Jones, let's get out here in the streets.
Maybe the different schools that we didn't go to last year.
Definitely.
Closing comments, so committee work, customer service committee is working on our second round of training, which the first round was really identifying what customer service is and kind of where we are as an organization. The second round of training is now the part of kind of how we will deliver customer service as a district. So we are still getting individuals through that first round, and very soon we should be opening up the second round of that piece right there. Athletic committee, we are in the process of finishing up kind of the rules and regulations for athletics, this is the first time that we are developing this type of policy to guide us versus what people's regulation is. So that has been a very active process for the group there. The technology committee, technology and buildings committee, we are working on kind of identifying some of the future plans for our building use, kind of looking at too how our community engages with us in our buildings. On the technology side, we are working on rolling out this year for the second version, our badge process, with those being utilized not only on the school buses, but we have a product to assist with more in-school features such as attendance, hall passes, just knowing when people are in the building. So we are hoping that we can get some of these products out during summer school so we can get some preliminary data to help us when we roll out during the school year. The Council of Great City Schools, we did not meet this quarter due to several staff members being out. So we'll have an update next quarter of what's going on and things that we're getting from that membership that we're a part of. In the policy committee, we're busy. We have a lot of policies that are coming through, and we are trying to make sure we do our due diligence on that piece. I want to say one in particular that we are working on finalizing for us is the cell phone uses policy, which is kind of big since it came out at the governor's office, or from the governor, I think last month. Other than that, I do want to add some other closing comments in regard to the speaker today regarding Strivers football. I think it's very limiting to say what people can or can't do. I mean, Stivers is a school like our other schools, and those students deserve the opportunity to be able to do anything that we offer in this district. If there was a way to allow them to do that now, we would have done it. Unfortunately, that decision is outside of our hands, and it is unfair to tell particularly males that they have to pick between continuing an art that they are a part of and continuing to play in a sport that they can only do in high school. I look forward to seeing what we are able to do for those individuals, because that program is going to grow and grow and grow as I think one of our only schools to have just about every other sport that we offer in the district. It is a testament that our students at Stivers are able to balance so much, because in their teenage years, they get to be exposed to so many different things. For the longest, they have been the only team that has had tennis, the only team for boys and girls. They consistently have baseball and softball programs. They have one of the best soccer teams. Opponents is coming up on them, but they continue to be in everything we offer. This year, they were able to take on boys volleyball, which is in its second year. And just to see that growth in that population, which I've been told, I have not checked the stats myself, that we have a lower amount of males who attend that school. I don't know if football will help with that or not, but it is my hope that we get to see more males be in the arts with that program. So I'm excited to see that on an equality level, something that we're offering at other schools, they now have an opportunity to do. Other than that, I want to say I get a lot of calls from people in our district, and I get you guys. Sometimes it is tiring to be here, and it is a hard place to be. And I appreciate and I try to advocate for each and every one of you in the ways that I can. I do want to remind people that when you become a board member, it doesn't change who you were before you were a board member. And I say that, and I tell people, anyone who wants to run for an elected office, whoever you are now in this moment, it's going to intensify when you get on the other side of this. If you were an advocate, you're gonna keep doing it. If you were a behind-the-scenes worker, you're gonna continue to work behind the scenes. And just know, when you bring these type of things, or you bring stuff to us as a body, individually, yes, we are 7 individuals. And we came here on different paths and reasons of why we wanted to be in this space. I feel good that everything that I do here is something that is for people who will never be able to pay me back, and I hope that you learn from my example about advocacy, no matter when you have to advocate by yourself on certain different things. I hope that we continue every day to get a little bit better as an organization. I am not illusionary that of some of the difficulties that people go through in our organization every day. And I still hope, like, that's the life we live. Sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's easy. I hope that you not only seek me out as a board member when it comes to what you expect from me when I'm sitting on this dais and when I am engaged in this process, but I hope you seek out my colleagues, because they are also elected officials. And I mean, seek them. I can't solve every problem that people have, and I can't do any of this alone. It requires the other 6 people on the board with me for us to grow in ways that matter. And we may not always agree on the same thing. You've seen today, we have the transportation piece. Some of us are really trying to make this happen because we truly believe that it would be better for our students if they were on yellow buses. Some of us are trying to think about the student's life outside of the yellow bus period, where I think about what they do after school, and that's also a valid piece. Some of us really don't have any opinion on it because we just haven't thought about it in that time. It doesn't mean that any of us are wrong in our thought processes. It means we advocate differently for what we believe is best based on the people that we speak to. So I hope that people, you stay engaged with us and that you don't give up on us as a body, because there's so much that happens outside this little district that impacts everything in this little district. Dr. Lawrence said to me the other day, it's amazing that you guys talk about so many things, but you never have conversations about what's happening in Columbus. And he's right. This is one of the most vocal boards, with the exception of Jocelyn. This board, we never have those type of conversations that we're capable of having about things and people who are actively putting laws and putting bills out to make this harder for us. So I do want to challenge this group that at our next public meeting, that we actually do have one of those conversations about something that is happening where, as a team here, as Dr. Bailey has said a couple times, what that means to us. I mean, Jocelyn goes out all the time and she advocates and she does these things and she speaks at these levels, but so many people watch what we do. And they watch us way more faithfully than I ever thought was possible. But we don't, I think we miss an opportunity to really have that type of conversation about how these bills and these laws and these things that are happening outside of here make it just a little bit tougher for us to do the things that we talk about on the surface level. We are really good at going through these recommendations and questioning, and we do a great job of questioning and making sure that whatever we believe taxpayer dollars is getting spent on, that we've asked these questions not only for ourselves, but other individuals. I think we've missed the mark as a body to engage in that conversation that makes not only us think about how these bills are affecting us, but the individuals who watch us and who depend on our opinion on these things to be able to actually engage in that type of conversation. So I say all that to go, I mean, next month, I'm gonna brush up on some things and I'm gonna bring some conversations to the floor. I hope that this body engages in those type of conversations and actually really challenge what's happening so people can just know a little bit more beyond, or see a little bit more, or see that energy that we give to PR recommendations or to HR recommendations. If we could give just some of that energy to some things that we have no control over right now, but there are people who are elected to represent us who aren't necessarily giving us their best interests, as well as bolstering up those who are. So I say all that, those are my comments. I hope that our dialogue as a group, especially when we get to this new business part, that we can utilize this more in addition to the things that we're individually working on, to actually have conversations that keep us on point of what's happening in the State House. And I'm also gonna ask, it's June, and there are some committees I have never heard about. To my colleagues, if you could just give some information on that is happening on some of these other committees, that would be greatly appreciated, not only for myself, but for individuals who these type of committees matter to. So that's all I got for you.
All right, I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, so move, may we have a vote?
President Smith,
Yes.
Ms. Wick,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Dr. Bailey,
Yes.
Mr. Lacy,
Yes.
Mr. Walker,
Yes.
Ms. Reinhardt.
Yes.
7 yeses.